Remember David in all his afflictions, how he sware unto the I am and vowed unto the mighty God of Jacob, or Kobe, surely I will not come into the tabernacle of my house, nor go into my bed. I will not give sleep to mine eyes, or slumber mine eyelids, until I find out a place for the I am, and an habitation for the mighty God of Jacob, even Jacob. Lo, we heard of it at Ephrata, and we found it in the fields of the wood. We will go into his tabernacles, and we will worship at his footstool. Arise, O I am, into thy rest, thou and the ark of thy strength. Let thy priests be clothed with righteousness, and let thy saints shout for joy. For thy servant David's sake, turn not away thy face of thine anointed. The I am have sworn in truth unto David, he will not turn from it. Of the fruit of the body will I set upon thy throne. If thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony that I shall teach them, their children also shall sit upon thy throne forevermore. For the I am hath chosen Zion, that he hath desired it for his habitation. This is my rest forever, here will I dwell, for I have desired it. I will abundantly bless their provision. I will satisfy her poor with bread, and I will clothe her priests with salvation, and her anointed shall shout aloud for joy. There will I make the horn of David to bud. I have ordained a lamp for mine anointed. His enemies will I clothe with shame, but upon himself shall his crown flourish. All praises. Psalms chapter 132, 132. Yes, deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, all praises, all praises, all praises to the Most High. Yes, we give God the glory and the praise, for he is worthy to be praised. Yes, in all things give God glory and praise, even the most minute things, to the point where you find your penny on the ground. Thank the Almighty. Yes, if you find your lost little pen on the ground, thank the Almighty. For if we are grateful and thankful in the small things, yet in the big things we will be ever so grateful and rejoicing. Yes, we thank God for you, and also we thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning, and those of you that have been with us years and there's about, and those of you who are just subscribed. Yes, we thank God for those of you who are just subscribed, and also those of you who are just viewing. Yes, and we thank God for those of you that are about to subscribe, calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes, you're walking with Mr. Clay. I'm Mr. Clay. Yes, and we're in the book of 2 Chronicles. The book of 2 Chronicles. You know, sometimes I look at this thing and I say, it seems like it's just coinciding with what is happening in this world today, especially on the continent and different areas, what God is doing as far as these different chapters that I read out of Kings and Chronicles and 1st and 2nd Samuel, even Judges and Ruth. They all give me and they should the same with you, give you a sort of glimpse of how God operates, who God is, how he deals with the just as well as the unjust, and how he deals with those who are poor and destitute, and how he delivers and how he set free. But many of us can't see for looking. We think it's out of our own power that we are delivered. No, God works in circumstances, creating. Situation is created and God shows his salvation through that situation. Yes, and how he can save a people. Salvation is not the here and by, that's the deception. Salvation is now. when you're delivered from your enemies, when you're delivered from oppression, when you're delivered from those who would cause your people to be deleted and unalived for no reason at all, just because. This is what happens to Egypt. This is what happened in the land of Shem. This is what happened. Their tail has become the head. And the head. Now God is trying to bring the head back. The children of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The true children of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Yes, he is. Whichever you are, that's up to your genealogy. But the fact is, we know that they are all children of Noah after the flood, who also contain the DNA of Noah after the flood. Yes, this so is true. Why should we fight amongst one another when God has given us the whole earth? When he's given us all this fullness, and even David said we come to worship at his full footstool. What did he mean by that? We came to worship at in the earth, at his footstool in the earth, at Ephrata. In other words, we bowed and we got on our knees at his footstool. The earth is his footstool. The stars are his handiwork. Oh, hallelujah. Glory to the Most High. Yes, this is what it is. That's what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about no Easters. You give it to the Christians, they're going to show you what Easters were supposed to come in there. No. Look at the author, what he's saying, please. But nevertheless, 2 Chronicles Chapter 10. Yes. Now we're getting into the second split of the children of Jacob. Solomon had done everything that he was proposed to do in building a house to him who is holy, who has no beginning and no end. This is how they put it. Eternal is how we put it. He just is. He's the air we breathe. He's all of this thing. You can't know God by trying to figure God out. No way. Are you crazy? I wonder about some of these people. And then you come and criticize the very air you breathe. You criticize the very life that's in you. You criticize the very muscle you take into your mind. Didn't the thing that you don't see cause these things to come out the ground that you eat? Even your own flesh that you breathe and you walk in and have a consciousness? Even part of that spirit is in you to give you life. It came from your father into your mother, which birthed the resultant of it. Don't get it twisted, woman. You didn't have that child by yourself. It's just that you, just like every animal on the face of the earth, at least they got sense not to complain about it. You were chosen as a female, your gender chosen to nurture and develop the resultant of copulation, just like every creature upon the face of the earth, except for, with the exception of a few. And you should make that your priority, that God has given you a system to do this thing, to populate the earth. Without the man, you cannot do it. Your egg is just like a chicken egg. It can't do nothing but just fall out during the time of your cycle. That's it. And you call yourself all that in a cup of tea. Please. And man, you deposit your seed in things that should not be. In woman that you should not have. Even another man's wife, regardless of how fine or how shapely she is and tempting she was. It's theft. It's an abomination unto the Most High and worthy of death. Another man's wife is like stealing. It's like murder. Because the devastation you bring upon him and your disrespect for the other man. If he should delete you, it's no big deal before the Most High. Because what? You disrespected him. This woman was out of order. She was out of order, and this is where you should put her in order. Go back and tell her husband. Go back and tell whoever. Your woman out of order, man. She trying to tempt me. Now, many of you won't do it, and it's absurd to even do that. That shows that you're a punk. You scared. Yeah, that's what they say. You scared, man. Go on, hit that. But with that, you have caused an out-of-order woman to sit up there and just devastate a whole family. Devastate a whole existence. I mean, just cause chaos, just like it was in the days of the Watchers. God giving you your portion, or you can go find you a virgin or someone that you can have. That's not yours. And with that virgin, that you have an intention of marrying her. Or any other woman that is available for marriage, that you have an intention. Other than that, leave it alone. Don't go pleasuring yourself. Leave it alone. Women gonna do what they gonna do. Look at Eve. But God speaks to you, man. He speaks to you. Nevertheless, let's go. Rehoboam went to Shechem. 2 Chronicles Chapter 10. Went to Shechem, for Shechem where all Israel come to make him king. And it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Now remember Rehoboam, he went to Shechem. They made him king in Shechem. He came there to make him king. And it came to pass, Shechem was a very doleful place, a nasty place. The men of Shechem were that which even the book of Judges, they took up for the most hideous of nasty, low-down grapists who actually did that to a Levite who had his concubine, and they wanted him. But just like the children of Sodom, they say, take these, they're virgins. They were young. You all get on Sharp. Only thing Sharp did wrong was the fact was that he didn't do his homework. He didn't watch his P's and Q's when and then the fact is, did he intend to marry the girl? Either way, whether she was 18 or 118, still, intentions wrong. So now, oh well. That's all I got to say, oh well. But either way, it says this here. And it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was in Egypt, whether he fled from the presence of Solomon the king. Why? It was just like the one in Burkina Faso, the one general who fled because the people didn't like him. He used them and he caused them to pay taxes, and he, should I say, enriched himself and ran at the tidings of Ibrahim Traoré and his band to come and liberate. They liberated the people of Burkina Faso. It wasn't the U.S. It wasn't France. It was the people itself. Ibrahim Traoré, which is a citizen of Burkina Faso, liberated Burkina Faso from one who is from Burkina Faso, who was controlled by the West. And they're trying to come back for jealousy, boo-hoo. It ain't gonna happen. You're trying to get rid of them, it's not gonna happen. It's already children that already see this man, and it's growing up in them. What are you gonna do, destroy the whole and commit genocide of the whole people? Are you stupid? You think God is gonna allow that? No, these people are not practicing any type of idolatry. They're not practicing all those things that are... No, God is going to protect them, period. Yes, there are Muslims and Christians, all, or should I say, one that believes in one God. And let me continue. Well, I get sidetracked. And he fled from the presence of Solomon in verse 2, the king. Why? We'll get into that. Heard it that Jeroboam returned out of Egypt. And they sent and called him. So Jeroboam and all Israel came and spake to Rehoboam, saying, now, it says now, Jeroboam, the son of the bat. Now, here he is, and they sent and called him. So Jeroboam went back they wanted to cause a coup. That didn't really make no sense. Solomon wasn't doing nothing crazy at this time. But the fact is, Jeroboam decided he wants to continue on with the lucrativeness of his father. Or Jeroboam, if you take the J away. Saying, thy father made our yokes grievous. Now therefore ease thou somewhat our grievous servitude of thy father, and his heavy yoke that he put upon us, and we will serve thee. Now apparently Jeroboam was the one who looked at King Solomon and said, we're going to serve you. But you got to lift some of these taxes, dude. We're going to serve you. But you getting raided out of hand like your father. I mean, this guy that you had all these wives and all these concubines he had things that, the gold. It wasn't used for what we use gold today, but he was dressed and adorned in it beyond measure. Richer than anything today that you would even look at. There's nothing today that compared with the majesty of Solomon. No. And he says, and King Rehoboam took counsel with the old men that had stood before Solomon, his father, while he yet lived, saying, what counsel give ye me to return answer to these people? Now Rehoboam said, hey, if you do this, we cool. The people cool, everybody cool. We won't even have a coup d'etat. Just take the little less burden off of us. Now you have to think that Rehoboam, he was gone. He learned the way of the Egyptians too. Idolatry. And he forsook the counsel which the old man gave him, and took counsel with the young men that were brought up with him that stood before him. So some of you young say the old don't know, the old, they won't do this. And sometimes I don't think you contradict what you are doing. You're going against the Bible when you go against old people. He chose the old because they know the way. He chooses the young because what? They are strong. You're strong, young man. You're strong. But the old have lived through life enough to have either recognized or realized what is right before the Most High and what works and what don't work. And they told him, hearken unto the people. Apparently, Mr. Terrari has hearkened unto the ancients of his people, which told him, listen to the people. But Jeroboam didn't want to do that. And he said, what advice you give ye that we may return and answer to this people which have spoken to me, saying, ease somewhat the yoke that thy father did put upon us. Maybe King Solomon got rid of Rehoboam because he protested the king and what he was doing after the tabernacle was built, after the temple was built. And Solomon did not like that. Solomon's mind was gone after a while because of the women that he entertained. Now, he says, and the young men that were brought up with him spake unto him, thus shalt thou answer the people that spake unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but make it thou somewhat lighter for us, thus shalt I say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than thy father's loins. And I'm going to increase it, man. It's going to get bigger. For whereas my father put a heavy yoke upon you, I will more to your yoke. My father chastise you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. For what? They're giving you all they can, from labor to materials and everything. But now, because of the throne that you are in, you want, and all of it, and the same thing. What goes on with these African countries who are puppets for the people to enrich themselves? They chastise the people with scorpions. They chastise the people with high taxes. They chastise the people for what? What did the people do to deserve that chastisement? Wearing Gucci, a colonizer man, and Sarachi and Sarak. All these names you've been brainwashed to love. The sense can easily be made. It's just, that's nil and void. But you have to apply a name with your pagan self. Your Gucci's and all these other things. You have to apply a name. That's paganism. You have to apply a man, your Nike, a name. Yes, a name is better than gold, a choice name. But what is it associated with? High prices and nothing. Made in China, and the Chinese show you that, hey, we can make this stuff. It's no biggie. We can make your XXX colognes and all these other things. We can make your Elise Claibornes. It's nothing to get these fragrances. It's nothing to get the quality or the logos of these shoes. Even you can make them if you want to. All you do is put forth an effort. Look at the quality of the shoes of these young men that you see in Africa making nice leather shoes and tanning them just right. And then you buy these bags. And where is the leather from? Africa. Grown in Africa. Are you foolish? Who's the fool? The fool or the fool that follows him? And they stamp a name on them, and that's all it regularly. You got African skins going over to a man that takes them and cultivates them into a purse, and then it's stamped with a name of some colonizer that you have been brainwashed to think that his name is worth all that money you pay. You think I paid that much for this shirt? This shirt was on clearance. Come on here. It was on clearance. That's why it's so faded. I had 2 or 3 of these things. I don't know what happened to the rest of them, but I know they were on clearance. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam on the 3rd day, as the king saying, come again to me on the 3rd day. And the king answered them roughly, and King Rehoboam forsook the counsel of the old men. In other words, listen to the people, Rehoboam. Or should I say, Rehoboam, to the people, listen. And answered them after the advice in verse 14 of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, but I will add thereunto my father's chastise you with, I will chastise you with scorpions. Okay? And so, verse 15, the king hearkened not unto the people for the cause which was of God. Why did God do this? That the Almighty might perform his words which he spake by the hand of Ahijah and the Shilonites and Jeroboam the son of Nebat, to Jeroboam the son of Nebat. When all Israel saw that the king would not hearken unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? In other words, what are we going to do? God works in circumstances. This is a circumstance. Solomon was the one who caused the split, but it also was caused by David. It was initiated by David. Why? He had wanted, he coveted a poor man's pretty wife. Who could resist the king? Then God said, okay, marry her. And then he give a son that has multiplied his lusts even more so than his father. Not only his lust for women, but his lust for lucrative things. He multiplied that. So the split did begin with David, as we will see. And what portion have we in David? We have none inheritance in the son of Jesse. But only because David repented, God forgave him. But this thing was already in motion. O Israel, and now David, see to thine own house. So all Israel went to their tents. It's talking about the 10 tribes. But as for the children of Israel that dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. That was the son of David, or Solomon. Then Rehoboam sent Hadoram, that was over tribute. And the children of Israel stoned him with stones. And we ain't giving you nothing. Bam! Got rid of him. Yes, he did. That he died. But King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to a chariot and flee into the, oh, I'm gone. He left. Rehoboam took off. He ain't getting me. This is what we call, if Terwari was doing a bad job for the people, they would have been and deleted him, or stoned him, or got rid of him, or allowed those to come in and get rid of him. But no, people are prospering. People are doing great. People are rejoicing. They can get a business if they want it. They can find jobs now. And jobs are available and more jobs are coming. Because not only that, because of those who are coming in bringing the jobs feel protected. You can't go and bring your business into a country that's in chaos. That's why they do, should I say, the Congo that way. It's not all the Congo. It's just part of the Congo to the east, where all the minerals are. The rest of the Congo is partying, having a good time. I mean, jamming every day, if you want to put it that way. They jamming every day, having a party. None of them even want to go help them. Why? Because you got this greedy president who tells a certain Western country, come on in, protect me and my gold here. This is what he's saying. He's got a problem, really. He's living lavish. Look at the nice suits he wears and the things that yes, it's about him. It ain't about that portion of Congo. He doesn't care about those people. He could care less. The whole thing is a big confusion. Everybody's trying to figure out who is it that's causing this chaos. It's God causing the chaos. The greed instituted by spirits in the government of this country. It's a lot going on that is very confusing. Yes, it is. And they're making sure it's confusing. And then you got all these other people that are there and they want to go against Burkina Faso. Because one man gets upon social media and says that they need to be directed. They need to be organized. He gets up on his interview. And he is, to say it, I mean, it's nothing new. It's already been told. He's the guy of BlackRock. Yes. He told him. He said, hey, they going there. And it wouldn't surprise me that they are the NGOs that our beloved Abraham Traore is indicating that is causing all this other havoc. See, the NGOs can be government contracted, but yet the government has plausible deniability. And with this one general we have here, the guy probably started out good, but now he's ending up hated of all people of color because he's a turncoat. Oh, he's just a puppet. He's just a puppet. Because the NGOs are causing all the havoc. The NGOs, well, you have NGOs, Russians have their NGOs called, what we call, what do they call them? Should I say, well, we know their leader, I can't pronounce it now, but their leader was killed in an airplane crash. In other words, that's the NGOs of the United States signature, is airplane crashes. CIA, none dare call it conspiracy, has brought this out. But either way, the book, you can read it. Yeah, it's a pretty good book. But either way, these people are really, they're causing a lot of havoc because of their agenda. The agenda is not that Africa needs any leaders. All it needs to do is get rid of the leaders that don't care about the people. That's all. And get leaders that care about the people enough to make sure to bring in jobs or to grant people license to create or farm and all these other things. And instead of causing all this havoc. Why did Zimbabwe even turn back to allowing these other farmers to come in? There was an NGO there carrying out what he was paid to do. Why did their crops fail? See, many things you don't see, people are not talking, and you would not never know where this stuff is coming from. But Mr. Abraham Traore had put it plainly before you. NGOs, backed by government funding. And they are the ones who fund that way that government has deniable plausibility. They're using them as proxy, is what is happening. And in turn, they use another as proxy. Apparently, they got a hold of this exiled general from Burkina Faso, and now they get information from him on how to subdue this place where they can get back to their gold mining. But nevertheless, verse 18. 17, but for the children of Israel that dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. In other words, because he would not hearken to the other 10 that were not in the cities of Judah. The king Rehoboam sent Hodaram that was over the tribute, and the children of Israel stoned him with stones, but he died, and Rehoboam ran, as we said. And Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. But you're going to see where God says no more with a king even. This even dismisses your Jesus, your Yahushua, Yahusha. I mean, I don't care how much Old Testament, New Testament try to put in it. That throne is gone. It's no more. Some of you say the Queen of Sheba was the father of the kings, one king of Ethiopia. That's yet to be proven. When she was way on the other side of the Dead Sea. Well, did her son travel over across the Red Sea? Did he travel across the Red Sea to get over into Ethiopia to reign over the Ethiopians? Now we know Moses reigned in the land of Sudan. Yes, he was what we would call Sudan. I'd say Sudanese king. Moses was very devout because that was the way of his father. Amram. Yes, that was the way of his father. But nevertheless, if we do those things that are right before the Most High, we will not have rebellion. We will not have, our enemies would be at peace with us, even those of us that would please him in doing what his commandments, statutes, and ordinances say. And with that, we're going to have peace.
Walk with me.